No, if it's not on the phone, oh,
Yeah, I understand. Welcome to Section 31, episode number 362. I'm Dan Hammond.
and I am Rogue Schindler.
This week, it's going to be short. I'm back in town, and I should be back in town for a while, so we shouldn't miss an episode in a while. But all this travel, and I'm a little under the weather. So we're going to talk briefly about what I've got my next travel plans, and then we can go from there. I think sound like a
Yeah, I was.
good idea.
Yeah, it sounds good. I was gonna say you say you're back in town, but you're gonna turn around and leave almost immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So Origins is coming up. I am leaving. I'm leaving Tuesday night. Well, on a red eye to Columbus, and I'll be there for all day Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and I'm flying back Sunday. So yeah, I got more travel in store, but we've got plans for the convention. I've got True Dungeon tickets for me and three other folks, so that should be fun. I've got what else is going on? I don't know that much else is going on that is planned. We're probably gonna go see Solo because I still haven't seen that yet.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, that should be fun. I've heard that it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, okay. I mean, I've also seen a lot of
I'm not gonna say anything. You haven't seen it yet.
yeah, the box office reports have been just through the floor. But
Uh, I will say I went in with very low expectations, and it certainly exceeded those.
okay, I had a choice earlier, midway through last week. I was actually done with what I was working on early enough that I had some free time in the afternoon, and where I was traveling, there's a pretty nice theater. So I went and I thought, well, I've got my options. I got a couple of movies I can see. I figured I probably was going to go see Solo this week, so I saw Deadpool 2 instead.
Nice.
Have
Good
you seen it yet?
choice. Oh yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Speaking of middling expectations going in and living up to every bit of it, wow, I was so impressed. I would definitely do that again. That was just a lot of fun the whole time. Um, anyway, unrelated. So I've got a few things planned. I'll be probably going to bring my ACG cards just because that's there's always a table going on, and it'd be nice to pick up
Yeah,
that the free RPG day. The Goblin if
that's
they're
right.
getting them
It's
out.
on Saturday.
That's right. So I'll definitely stop by if there's a Paizo booth, or I don't have a lot of big Paizo booth, but at least they have a play area that I should be able to hit. I'll probably walk around the floor and look at magic cards that are too expensive that I don't really need. Um, if they have those huge big boxes of Trek cards, the Troll and
Oh
Toad
yeah, the Troll and Toad
yeah,
boxes.
I might pick some of those up. I know, honestly, our stocks here at the warehouse are surprisingly low for for backers and things. I've been breaking into the Trouble with Tribble starter deck boxes. However, I have got a PM from someone who's planning on sending me a lot of backers that we can use. So we'll see what happens with that. But uh, it's hard to say no to more Star
Sure.
Trek cards, right?
Especially if they have them. Yeah, you get
Exactly.
some.
So
Tide you over, and then if you don't get anything by from your PM person, then you can stock up at Gen Con.
exactly, yeah. So that'll be fun. I don't know. It's always a fun time. We'll see a lot of friends, and we'll probably stay up late playing too many games, and I'll report back on how it goes. I'm not looking for. I'm not expecting a lot of Star Trek, honestly. But we'll
Yeah.
see what we run into.
Now, from what I read, the True Dungeon happening at Origins, you actually have. It's kind of interesting. I know last year they did like a one off or like a one last chance to play last year's Gen Con thing. This year it actually looks like they're doing two new different things. They're doing that again, where you can play last year's that we found wholly mediocre. But they're also they're doing three different things at Gen Con, and they're previewing one of them here. Is that what you're doing? I can't imagine you're going to replay the one we played last time.
No, I really had no fun with that. So, yeah, it'll be a new one for me. It's if I remember last year, there were two different ones we could do, right? And we chose one of them. And I don't think I chose either of
Yeah,
those. I think I chose one of the a different story altogether. So I don't know if it's a preview or what, but I'll definitely have a report. And if it's different, the name was different than what we had signed up for at Gen Con. So
excellent.
yeah, should be fun. I'm looking forward to at least. I mean, if it's the same, if it's similar to the kind of True Dungeons that we've done in the past, that's I'm looking forward to it because those were always a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a little. I don't know if we talked about this a little. It's been so long,
Yeah,
but the one that we did sign up for at Gen Con is kind of like the True Dungeon equivalent of a sealed deck. And since we have a new player going with us, that feels like it's going to be. I mean, and it's also not just a sealed deck, but it's a rerun of a previous year. And I can't imagine, they've altered it a bit, so you're not just rerunning it if you've done it before. But I can't imagine they would go and say, let's remake Star Trek V if we're going to remake a Star Trek movie. I'm sure they're probably going to pull out Wrath of Khan or First Contact as far as a True Dungeon analog would go. That plus it being, nobody with piles of tokens. It's the bag you get, and that's it.
that should make things so much simpler, especially to start out.
Yeah,
You're not just overwhelmed with all the possibilities of things, right?
yeah, and presumably the power level has to be equivalent. So you don't have to worry about, I'm going to get blown away because, we have to play at level 50 because of this guy with all his tokens, or
Exactly.
and
Right.
I'm going to get one shotted by the surprise mimic bush or
Well, I
something.
mean, they have to tech up the game for all the people who have spent too much, right?
Sure,
So,
but that's why they're doing this one, I would
yeah,
assume.
yeah. So should be
Cool.
fun. I'm looking forward to it. Again, don't have much else planned. I think I have more. We have so much planned for. I think this is the most we've ever planned for Gen Con, right? I mean, my time is booked up. I think I filled in the little gaps that we had with floor walking time, and then all my time is spoken for the whole thing. So that's going to be fun. This con is going to be a lot less, which is probably what I need. A lot less structured and a lot more just kind of hanging around and relaxing for a little bit.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I'm hosting the suite again. I'll be running the bar, so I think my night will probably go a little bit late, but I should be a little more relaxing than the early morning 8 o'clock calls for ACG or
Yep.
other stuff that we've got planned in the future.
Whatever RPG we have planned. Yeah. Well, if you do manage to find any Paizo folks there, and they are doing stuff, give them a poke and see if they're doing any playtest stuff on the side, because they had a big announcement about that. They did a bunch of playtest at PaizoCon, which was over Memorial Day weekend. Apparently, that was like the penultimate, the not final draft of the core box, and they found a few things during that playtest and they fixed it. But that one's basically going, not to press, but like they're going to kind of lock that down to go with the adventure deck box that's going to sort of be its companion. So I'm assuming they'll probably still have some work to do on that. I don't know if they're going to be, flaunting it at the convention, but if they are, you might want to take a look at that. They had a really good write-up about it. Mike Selinker has been doing sort of design diaries about kind of how that's gone. It's been really interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing not this new edition, but sort of like this kind of streamlining of the game.
Streamline, that's the word I was going to use. And so it's remind me this it's one more box to buy, but that will be the last base set, and everything else will just be kind of expansion sets on top of it, right?
Right. So it'll essentially be, to the two boxes combined, will be roughly the same as a whole box with all 6 decks. Only you only have to buy the half of it once, and that will go as a companion to all the other decks. So subsequently, when new adventure paths come out, you won't have to buy the whole box again. You will already have the core box, and then you can take out that half of it that is Curse of the Crimson Throne, which is the next set coming out, and then you can pull in, whatever the next storyline is and put that in. So I think that's a really good way to go. There's some other really interesting things that they're doing that we saw streamline. They had a very small zoomed out shot of plague test cards sitting on a table, and you could see it looked like they're going to have scalable locations rather than having a different number of locations for the number of players you have. You'll have the same locations, but they'll get bigger or smaller.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah.
So the number of cards underneath change?
Yes.
Wow. All right. Cool.
So that looks cool. Looks like they're doing a lot to streamline with keywords. I mean, if you've played it at all, you very quickly pick up on the fact that they're really good with themes. Like giants all do +2 damage, or veterans are all add the adventure deck number, and they have those keywords on them. They just don't load them, and that game could really use some loaded keywords.
Certainly, yeah, that would certainly take a lot of the text off the cards, and if you just put on a little reminder card to give everybody, that's
exactly
easier. Yeah, good stuff. All right, then I'll be on the lookout for that, and I don't have much plans else. I mean, I'm definitely going to spend a lot of time walking the floor because that's something that's easier to do, I found, at Origins than it is at Gen Con.
Oh, yes.
It's a smaller floor, but it's the spaces are wider and there's less people, and you can actually probably see all of it in a good day.
Yeah.
If you take your time and do a lot of playtesting, it'd probably be a 2-day affair. But I mean, if you just do a walkthrough and make notes about what you want to go back on, you can see the whole thing. Although, to be fair, they've kind of expanded from just the show floor. Now, a lot of companies don't have booths on the show floor anymore. They have them in the game floors, the game areas. So
that's very confusing.
Yeah, it is. So, White Wizard, I think that's the name of the game that makes Star Realms. Remember how they had a play area, but they didn't actually have a booth, I don't think, in the show floor.
They did at Gen Con.
Did they?
Yeah, it was very small.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Then bad example. But that's I walked around the show floor for a while. I was like, wow, I'm missing one or two of the vendors. I just don't see them here, so maybe they're not coming. And then in wandering around and looking for other things, I found, oh, well, there's a big area over here where there's a bunch of other things where they're selling things. Sure. I think Fantasy Flight falls into that. They're not in the actual main floor. They're way over there.
They have all their stuff next to the actual play area.
Yeah.
It's a way to go. I just wish they would pick one, because if you don't know that going in, it could be confusing.
Certainly.
But well, I look forward to hearing your report. It sounds like you're coming back Sunday. Are you going to be ready Monday, or are you going to be on another plane?
I'm done. I'm done traveling for work for at least a few months. I'll probably have some things to do, either probably coming up around the same time as Gen Con, but not anytime soon. So that's good. Cool. So no, I will be prepared. I will have a list of games I've played, a list of food I've eaten at North Market, and probably some chat about Solo, just because we haven't got a chance to talk about that, and we usually talk about things like that. So all those things. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I will let you go and try to get some recovery time in, and look forward to your report once you come back from partying in Columbus. In the that's all the intelligence we have. First, then in the meantime, I am Sir Rogue.
And I'm Sir Dan.
And I'll remind you all to expand your power in the universe.
And I'm going to take a lot of medicine and drugs to end.